See that? I'm terrible. I didn't finish my last thought of my last video. My unpopular thought that I was gonna share. This is what it is. I was talking about civil rights movements, right? Like, okay, so like the women's lib movement, that is a thing to me. Like I started to say it, and I don't know why I didn't finish in my last video. I got sidetracked by another thought again, but it was this idea is it's like I said in the video, social rights movements. Um, our controllers are very much like pro wrestling, right? So they they set us up to feel certain ways. I feel like it was a big orchestration to keep patriarchal control. You know, I feel like they keep men and women polarized from each other. They through culture, through all kinds of ways like entertainment and whatnot, spreading certain values in society. They teach men to exhibit certain behaviors, right? And then they go spread this propaganda over here to the women. See how men are, all the ignorant ways that they behave. And what they've told us is causing us to exhibit the things that gives the women confirmation. Yeah, see, they fucking are like that. And same thing the other way around. They feed women this culture. Then they're over here talking in the boys' ears. Women, oh, they do that stupid thing that they do. You know what I mean? And so it gives the men confirmation. Oh, well, look at that. It really is like they said, you know. Oh my gosh, look at how women are. They're ridiculous. Well, we put up with them because we love them, yada yada. But we're not really united, you know. At that point, we're at odds with each other, but we put up with each other. What a bunch of crap, right? Like you literally are apart from a man and apart from a woman put together with a soul inside. So it's like to say that our natures are so far from each other. Women are from Venus, men are from Mars, right? What a, you know, yeah, well, maybe we started out there, but now we're occupying the same space. I'm, the egg becomes the brain, the sperm becomes the spinal column, you know, basically. It's funny because, just to touch on that real quick, oh, I can't help it. In my last video, I trailed off on that thought. I've been working a lot with dragon energy the last couple of years. A lot of synchronicities have come through, pushing my understanding of what that means further and further. But basically, dragon energy that we work with is a sine wave, okay? So it hit me on the smallest level. First, it hit me, well, my spine is the part of my body that's like a dragon. It's a sine wave, right? And then here comes along Bro Sanchez with his flat earth and all his whole other body of truth that comes with it, right? And it's like, and was like, basically, when you see these Naginis, a lot of the ancient cosmology, the serpent mother, you know, the source of all, they're talking about sperms. It's so fucking funny when that hit me. I was like, so we literally are dragons at one point. When we're swimming towards the egg and being a sine wave, we are a dragon, quite literally. That wasn't my point. My point was the unpopular views that we have to be able to share. I feel like the women's lib movement was very appropriate because women felt subjugated because of the cultural attitudes that both men and women were fed, right? But what did it do? What it did was cause them to get more out of us, basically. They're like, now you have to have two full-time incomes to run a household. And no, you don't get a retirement payment. You get a, or, you know, you don't continue and get cost of living raises or anything like that. You definitely need both parents out of the household. This is subtle, and that is like, it did so much. Like I said, the reason behind the emotion of the women's lib movement is justified, is right. You know, them not having equity across the board isn't right. But I feel like it was a manipulation to get us locked into this paradigm even further, to make us even more dependent on them. You know, they're like, the people at the top, they're like, we're still getting our bonuses every year, and now you need 2 cars, 2 jobs. You need, you know, so much more than you need. Like, you used to be able to take care of your family on a grocery store job. I mean, and gosh, this could just go on and on and on because there's so much to be said there. Some of the attitudes that come with being part of the workforce, very, very, very bad. They it's starting to change right now, but I grew up in a world where it was like you had this kind of attitude that you sacrifice your well-being to be at your job, because if you don't, you feel threatened, like they might cut you off and you won't be able to provide for yourself and your family anymore. That's part of where they manage to eke these negative, horrible attitudes out of men in the first place, where they want to objectify women and kind of be abusive towards their worlds and stuff, because they're just, we feel mad. We feel mad at what we give up, and like I spent my whole life working, doing stuff that doesn't carry a lot of meaning for me, because they said if I don't, I won't. It's like this feeling in my stomach is not gonna stop, and so you need to do something about it. And some of us need to be the trash cleaners, the shit wipers, or whatever you want to call it, when things don't really even have to be that way. And so, yeah, from like a male point of view, that's kind of a trip in the first place. You're like, so now we have both men and women who have to heal from that attitude, that freaking martyr syndrome or whatever. Anyways, like I said, it looks like my camera's full, but I had to get these other thoughts out. It was just part of the whole morning's flow.